Well, welcome back everyone. This is New Mutator here, and I'm actually bringing you something a little bit different than I have done in the past. And let's pull that up. This is actually a kickball tournament that's kind of organized by Rat King, and I actually just played this earlier today. Dantski and myself were the team captains, and it's kind of playground kickball style rules. So whoever shows up, we take turns choosing the teams. And this is what, Green Hell, King of the Hill or something like that. And I also wanted to showcase also a couple of other things that are new. But first of all, let's go ahead and kind of introduce our players. So we have Dantski. I think this is Gabba. I have no idea. Cheery Day, whoever that could be. Mercadon, Alucard. I'm not too sure who that is. Apparently he hasn't played in a while and just kind of serendipitously showed up. Ankulator and Arsenic, who were previously teammates. Actually, Dantski, Ankulator, and Arsenic, I believe, were all on Grimm's My Team of Myth World Cup of last year. And with LN, who is actually myself, is Milkman, Renwood, Rat King, Giant Killer General, Sam the Butcher, and Vi for Power. So the other interesting thing is that well, we'll get into that later. Game is on, and as you can see, I'm still doling out units. I'm not very fast at that. It's not really my strong suit. But anyway, I think my team was able to carry us pretty well for the most part. Not giving anything away because I haven't actually. Well, you'll just have to see and find out for yourself. But this is the other thing that I wanted to show you, which is something that's been enabled, I think, for the next, I guess the next incarnation of the Myth engine. Well, that Project Magma is working on, but this is it right here, and this is kind of interesting because you can't actually do this while playing. This is something that only observers and people reviewing films can do. So I kind of like this. I'm gonna test it out right now, and this is up to 5 times maximum zoom level. So very interesting. It gives me kind of a better grasp of what's going on the battlefield. But the other thing to keep in mind is that none of the players are able to zoom out this far in the game currently. Couple of shots off already on looks like, I don't know whose that was, but that was from Donski's team. Milkman running in, he's trying to get a shot off, so GKG, and it looks like GKG might be able to take out Ankylators. Nope, that fireball is going to be blasted by Mercadon. Here's some more stuff going on here. It looks like there's some Solus over here trying to hit that up, and that Warlock goes down. That Warlock on the flank. And wow, see, already this is coming in handy. I like this. Now I can see, now it's like there's nothing I can't see, which is great. Renwood with some pus over there picking it up with the goals, as you can see up there. But it's King of the Hill, and that's the other thing to keep in mind. As Donski's team is in the lead, they have this kind of this nice wall, this nice spread going on. We have these units over here. They're going to be pushing those Solus, trying to collapse around the edges there, try to get a good grasp on this force here from, well, Team of Noobs, I guess is the name of the red team here. That came dangerously close. One thing to keep in mind is that Fetch are able to blast incoming fireballs. As you can see, that's kind of a way that they are able to prevent those from going off on more vulnerable units. It's kind of a way to block, actually, blocking Warlock shots. Looks like Renwood trying to get some time, but he may be able to get that. A little bit of time on there, but that fireball going to be blocked. This fireball going to be blocked, taking out a little bit of well, one Mercuridian, not a Mercadon, as Ankulator takes a little bit of damage, but he's basically going to run in there with that Mercuridia. And we see here Giant Killer General is trying to push in here. He's got this Warlock, as well as these, also these Fetch as well. Rat King also trying to do what he can, but this is something that I did that I think I I was sort of corrected on later was I split the fetch up 3 ways. As you can see, there we took a maximum of 6 fetch, and I gave them to 3 separate players. And I was told later that it's probably a good idea to have only 2 players use all 6 fetch, so three fetch apiece. But at this point, 81-79% is very close, but there's not really enough time in the game. 4 minutes remaining, and it's not looking too great for Team Red here. That goal didn't stand a chance. Here's a flank going on right now with Alucard. He's going to try to run in there, bust in there. I took these soulless because I figured we didn't really need that many, but this game I think we kind of got off on the wrong foot because I had not finished distributing units until later on, and Rat King is going to move in here, and that's one thing that's kind of difficult unless you're like an experienced captain, is being able to distribute units on the fly like that. But if you can do that, then that kind of gives you an edge, an advantage, because everybody knows what they're doing before the game starts. And I hadn't even handed out all the units until after the game had started, so obviously Dantski's team was able to take the flag and kind of hold it. And right now, Arsenic is going to try to run in here and try to seal the deal. 77-65%. It's really not looking good for the red team here, as I think over here Ankulator was able to do some damage. Possibly. Anyway, I think this flank kind of maybe took some casualties, and this flank is kind of pushing as well. Hopefully you can see what's going on. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Arsenic's one of his, or was that Gabba? I don't know. But a couple of fetch going down. That Heron Guard hero going down. Looks like Rat King picking up some goals. Mandrake Roots healing himself. Looks like Renwood's going to try to move in there, get some time on the flag. He was pretty much the only one during this game doing that, but it is pretty much game over. 60-49%. Percentages are close, but time is not, as there's only 2 minutes remaining, and there's about a 3.5-minute differential there, so there's basically no way that my team can win this game. Even if we completely, utterly destroy Dantski's team, there's just no way. A couple of last-minute lock shots going off, but I don't think there's really too much we can do at this point. Here's a whole bunch of melee. What 5 power? He had all this? I don't remember that. Anyway, there's probably some redistribution going on. Rat King healing himself up. He's going to take some more damage. Basically, Arsenic is kind of dueling with my Solus here. I'm trying to take out his last remaining fetch, but he's doing a good job of surviving here, as I'm just trying to, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. These are the only units I took in the game, by the way. And part of that is because I really don't trust myself with too many units, and because I'm not all that great. I don't have like high APM like some other players. And also, like I prefer like kind of minor roles that there we go, took out that fetch kind of last second there. And yeah, there's going to be some dueling going on, but really the game is over. 53-36% at this point. 45 seconds left. Not much that we could do. We could try to get a moral victory here, but I really don't see that happening. And yeah, so one of the reasons why I like taking fewer units is that I'm able to kind of micromanage it a little bit better, and I think that's more helpful to my team than taking a lot of units and not being able to use them very well. So that's kind of just my approach to strategy. That poor Heron Guard being taken out by that fetch. Oh, nice shot there, taking a couple of fetch. Who was that? That was Giant Killer General taking advantage of Murkerdon getting that nice lock shot off at the last second. And it's game over. And look at that, the percentages actually well, they kind of tightened up at the end, even though that's mostly just a moral victory at that point. 33-28%. So I think we played pretty valiantly, but I think we had a disadvantage kind of the whole entire game. Coming into this first game of I think it's just called the Kickball tournament. Kickball something or other. Anyway, I'm not sure what it's called, but Rat King is kind of the He's kind of organizing it, and I guess we'll have to thank Milkman also for making the logo for it. But let's take a look at some of these players. I know it's not all that fun for people who you know, didn't play, but I don't know. I like taking a look, analyzing it from just an individual player perspective. Ankulator actually did incredible, 166 damage for him. I think that's more than pretty much anybody else. Mercredon also did pretty well. He did have a couple of fetch at the end that were destroyed by that lock shot, but 16 kills for him. I think that's going to be the highest by any individual player. And Arsenic also did really well, but his ratios weren't that high, but he was able to net a lot of damage, 126 for his team. And I guess the one person that didn't post high damage was Alucard, and I think he was on this flank over here somewhere, just running in and out at the end of the game. I don't know what he had though, so that's another thing to keep in mind. For our team, as you can see, I struggled to break even. Rat King actually did incredibly well, given that we didn't win. 132 damage for him, 12 kills, 5 losses, and Milkman actually did really well also with 120 damage. And let's see, Brentwood didn't do so hot that game, but you gotta hand it to him for trying, because he did try to finagle some time on that flag there. And Sam the Butcher, I had no idea what he had, but he did have some remaining units at the end there. So that's going to be it for game number 1. This is kind of like a little test. This is a beta version of kind of a test of 1.8, which is Project Magma's. That's going to be the new, I don't know, their new version, I guess, of the Mid2 client. I don't know, program. I don't know what you want to call it. Anyway, it's going to be this is kind of a working version of it, and I wanted to test out this feature, which is pretty cool. We have Punk User to thank for this. He's basically, the people have spoken and said that they don't want this an extra zoom out feature for the actual playing of the game, but I suggested that perhaps maybe in reviewing games it could be very beneficial and pretty useful. So I'm hoping that's the case, and this is kind of what we're trying out here. So once again, this is the Kickball tournament, and it's been a pleasure having you. Hopefully you'll join me for game number 2 coming up soon. And congrats to Dantski's team for winning this first game.